So Trace, welcome back to the show, baby.
Yeah, glad to be here. Let's kick the tires and light the fires. Like, I'm all about being the hodler last resort, and you need to have security as like your prime focus. That's why I funded Armory, right? And there's a post over there on RBTC, and this clown imports his seed into a fake Electron SV wallet so he can get his airdrop from this Bcash SV like drama that's going on. And of course, what happens? 335 of his Bcash gone like that, $140,000, and he's like shaking. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, like capital is going to flow to who treats it best. If you don't respect the private keys, they're gone. And they go to somebody who does respect the private keys. And the capital that's getting transferred via this new crypto age, it's going to the people who respect it. And so you got to have some clear thinking. You got to hone in on signal, not on noise, and get distracted. And that's how you're going to actually be able to keep the rabbit. Everybody's chasing the rabbit. Who's actually going to keep the rabbit? Well, I mean, this is great because hodlers of last resort on the Bitcoin blockchain, we're bleeding them out of all their Bitcoin Satoshis. We're bleeding them out. And they're losing their position. They're losing their territory on the Bitcoin blockchain. Like, okay, go play on that little kiddie pool. Like, you want to put your big boy shorts on? Like, you got to play in the Bitcoin blockchain if you want to wear your big boy pants. Like, that's just the way it is. Well, I mean, clear back in 2015, I was asked by Juan Galt, like at Anarchapulco, he asked like, well, what about Bitcoin Core? Like, what about their competitors? And I was just saying what everybody knew. What competitors? The other guys, they're the JV bench warmers. Like, if they were any good, they'd have pull requests that got accepted and merged. They don't because they're bench warmers on the JV team. Like, they're in the kiddie pool with their little floaters on their arms to stay afloat. Like, they're not players. They don't really matter. So it's just a lot of drama, but not a lot of substance. And the other fun part about all of this stuff is how it's tied in with Tether and with Bitfinex, because last I checked, there's now a 3% withdrawal. Like, if you want to withdraw USD out of Bitfinex, it's 3%. Yes. Like, man, that inspires a ton of confidence. Guess what? It's another doxing. It's another, people didn't learn the first time. So guess what? That guy who lost his 335 Bcash, like, that's small potatoes. We got another doxing happening with billions of dollars at stake.
You're on the line of onto the topic of Tether and Bitfinex. You think things aren't good over there? You are.
Why is there a 3% withdrawal on USD, and why is it taking time to process the wires?
It would appear that they don't have the US dollars. That's what it would. That's
like I needed some USD because I made a large purchase the other day. I submitted it at LedgerX. It was wired out within 30 minutes. Hit my bank account in 30 minutes. Like, what's the deal? Like, no. Like, you either got the dollars and you can wire them or you can't. You either got the Bitcoin and you can send them or you can't. Like, and if you can't send them, you start like putting 3% withdrawal fees and you start saying like, oh, we got a new bank, or oh this or oh that, like excuse after excuse after excuse. Like, when are people going to learn? We've been in this industry for a decade. Like, seriously, a decade. Mount Gox, like, everybody's had plenty of warning. Like, no sympathy. No sympathy.
Well, there are what you're saying. I mean, to put this all out here for the newbies, you control your own private key, people. You don't store it at an exchange. You don't mess with these exchanges. They all get hacked eventually.
Dude, hodler of last resort, Bitcoin Core, Armory, Glacier Protocol, Purism Laptop. It's that simple.
There's your Glacier protocol again. People like when you brought that up last time. Talk about it some more. Talk about some Glacier protocol.
Well, I mean, it's 85-page PDF. You can go download it, like read through. You'll learn where the landmines are. Like seriously, if you're not doing your homework, if you're not educating yourself, what are you doing here? Like, you're gonna lose some coins? You're gonna lose your money? Like, is that what you're doing here? Like, seriously.
Well,
Like,
that's
grow up. Personal responsibility.
bam. Personal responsibility is the new counterculture. Keep on going. Keep on going.
No, that's just, I mean, it's that simple. Like, Bitcoin is absolutely brutal at allocating the gains and the losses. Like, it's just brutal. 335 Bcash. The guy's like, don't make fun of me. It might push me over the edge.
Guys, you don't
Whatever.
You don't want to end up. You don't want to end up with like these guys that we're talking about that don't control. I mean, first of all, Glacier protocol again. Trace, you're a real smart dude and everything. Not everyone can read that whole thing. I mean, that's for the tech dude. I mean, what would you write below that? Below, just control your own private key on your Trace.
No. They're like, I'm the hodler of last resort. There's nothing below the best. That's why I'm in Bitcoin. The best. Like, it's that simple. Like, nothing below the best. I gave you the 4 things. That's it.
Repeat the 4 things. Repeat the 4 things. You still do your best.
Bitcoin Core for network validation. Armory for managing your private keys. Glacier Protocol for your standard operating procedures. And a Purism laptop for your hardware. None of this like Ledger stuff. None of this Trezor stuff. Like, the best.
We live in a fast-paced world, and you know that so many of the people in the space will never touch any of those 4 things that you just mentioned. But
then lose your Bitcoin. Be poor. Seriously, personal responsibility, order, integrity, done. It's that simple.
This is a hardcore. This is the holder of last resort we're talking to right here.
Well, I mean, that, I talked about this on Pierre Richard's show too, that like, I'm the hodler of last resort. I coined the term, right? Like, none of this Bitcoin Cash is a real Bitcoin. I want people to know exactly what they're buying. I want to know exactly why they're buying it. I want them to know exactly how to keep it safe and secure, so they don't lose it. I mean, like, it's horrible. It's horrible to make the right decision at the right time, but implement it the wrong way and lose your money.
Yeah.
I mean, it's horrible. I got a friend.
Yeah, blockchain.info story?
Yeah, blockchain.info. My friend went to law school with her where I help them buy their first $100 of Bitcoin. They keep it in blockchain.info. I get pinged on Skype. The Bitcoins are all gone. It'd be like $10 million today. Ooh, bam. Like, why'd you procrastinate? Why didn't you take it serious? Personal responsibility. It's been a decade. Humanity, they've had the opportunity to get themselves educated. It's going to be on like Donkey Kong. It's coming.
Online for the.
I mean, think about it. We've had Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Gold, Super Bitcoin, Bitcoin Diamond, Micro Bitcoin just happened like a month ago. Bitcoin Private, Bitcoin Lightning. Like, we've had like 70 of these things.
Yeah.
You've been scarfing up all this stuff like Pac-Man, like getting as many Satoshis as you can with all of these forks, or are you like technologically illiterate, not able to safely claim your forks because you haven't done your homework. Yeah, but like, what are people doing? They're paying attention to all this drama instead of like doing the homework and figuring out how to like get more Satoshis with all these forks. Well, I mean, the reason Bitcoin's different is because it's got hodlers of last resort that freaking rock it. Know what I'm saying? They freaking rock it.
I know it.
And it doesn't matter what happens to the price. Like, they hold and then they acquire more. And what's that do? It makes the block reward worth more. So it incentivizes miners to come in and provide that hash rate. But it's all about the hodlers of last resort. They're the ones with the unencumbered monetary sovereignty.
Heck yeah.
Power. Knowledge is power. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it definitely is. Well, speaking of again, going back to the BCAT, the attack.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a force multiplier, defensive position. Like your troops will get mowed down, like trying to take territory against like the Bitcoin hodlers.
Oh, well, okay, that's but the civil war within Bcash.
Yeah, but Bcash doesn't matter. Bcash is irrelevant. It's like it's
I
the
know,
little kitty
I
pool.
know that, and you know that. I know that, and you know that.
Then
But
why is it occupying so much time and attention?
well, this is the thing. Yesterday, the again, and I value my wealth in Bitcoin. I value I know I saw the same amount of Bitcoin that I had 2 days ago. But there are a lot of people out there. It was not a coincidence that the fiat price of Bitcoin went down yesterday. It was not a coincidental situation to because again, I talk about the psychology of this space. People get when they hear something that is disturbing to them. It's disturbing when there's a guy who says he's Satoshi, who is a member of the fourth biggest crypto out there. When member is a big participant in that ecosystem. When he's constantly talking about war, this, war, that. People get into cryptocurrency. They don't know about the technical wars, and they want savings. They want money. They don't want war. So it's this talk is it is definitely scaring people off. And
well, there's a mute button. You mute,
and
it's mute, and it's done. Mute, done.
I agree.
Personal responsibility.
I agree wholeheartedly that this is nothing but an altcoin, but the noise is going to keep. You can say this about them. They're good attention seekers. They know how to get attention.
Like they, whatever. Anyways, are we going to talk about anything serious?
I want everyone to take what he just said. It isn't serious. It will pass. It is a blip on the radar. But you got to say today, everybody and their brother is talking about this situation over there.
Well, I'm only talking about it because you brought it up. I thought we were going to talk about Bitcoin and like serious stuff.
Well, I originally, I wanted to tell people to get you on here so that people would understand that this situation has no long-term effect on Bitcoin, which is basically what you have said.
Like investors, they think in terms of decades. Speculators, traders, like they think in terms of days and weeks and months. Like hodlers of last resort, they have a long time horizon. Long.
Oh,
And so, like if you're just here to get rich quick and you have no mental investment and you can't control your emotions and you have no discipline, you're going to get wrecked. Just absolutely wrecked. But if you've got if you've got a long time horizon and your time preferences changed because you understand the nature of the soundest, hardest money that the world has ever seen. I mean, in 18 months, it's going to have a lower inflation rate than gold. I mean, and it's extensible. And the current system, like what money is, it's going to die. Like the current system is a burning platform. So like, where's everybody going to go? And so this is the hardest, soundest money that the world has ever known. And like, so how low can it really go? I mean, it's up 100% from 18 months ago. Bitcoin is the apex predator. Know what I'm saying? Like, how do you kill this thing? You slice it in half with Mt. Gox and it's like comes back and is like 20 times the size and fully healed. You try the same thing with Bcash and it like the same thing happens. It's 20x bigger. Like, I mean, this Bitcoin thing is a behemoth. Like it is an apex predator that is built to just survive. And then it's, it just takes territory in terms of the world's wealth. It's a black hole on the world's balance sheet. So, if they're going to be buying like the Digital Galaxy digital asset index or whatever, and get all these altcoins of varying amounts, I mean, is that really their strategy? Like, they're just going to throw stuff at the wall, hope it sticks? Like, that's their strategy, really?
Diversification,
Like, really?
Diversification for the sake of diversification is a lot of people's strategy, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, because they don't have any conviction. And why don't they have conviction? Because they haven't done their homework. And why haven't they done their homework? Because they're not disciplined.
Dude, this is great stuff, man. Conviction. That's another one of my slogans. By the way, this apex predator, I'm gonna have to use. Can I use that in the future? Bitcoin, the apex predator. Yeah. Is that too complicated to talk about right now?
Well, Prism is a laptop.
Yeah.
So you can buy one with or without a Wi-Fi card. It's got like great open source free source software on it that a lot more secure, not a lot of security holes, all this type of garbage.
So you buy it, you buy it, it's good to go right away.
Well, I mean, it runs Linux. Well, a brand of it. So I mean, you're gonna have to load all your software and stuff on it. It's a general purpose computer. It's not specialized just for Bitcoin, which I think is a weakness. Sure. Like Trezors or Ledgers, like they're Bitcoin specific computers, right? Like, I think that's a weakness. I don't think that's a good idea.
Well, why so? That's interesting. Why?
Because they know whoever's buying it is going to use it for Bitcoin. Oh. Like, you buy a Purism, they don't know what you're going to use it for.
Okay, so you're saying that the weakness is at the giving away who you are level type of thing. That someone will know that you have Bitcoin.
Well, they know that you're going to use that particular device for Bitcoin. So, like, if you're looking at it in terms of a search space, doing cryptanalysis, like you just made the search space a lot smaller.